Okay, disclaimer here. I'm going to be brutally honest with Kajabi. Okay, everyone needs to be able to know the truth about this platform, what it can do, what it can't do, what's good and what's bad. Okay, but spoiler, it is still my #1 recommended tool for online course sellers and coaches. And if you want to know why, then keep watching this video. So real quick, why should you listen to me? Well, we've done 7 figures selling online courses and coaching programs and digital products, and we've used a ton of different tools under the sun. And Kajabi right now is our recommended tool for any of our students that we bring into our program, ICA. If you want to learn more about how you can launch an online course, or if you're struggling to get more sales with your online course, check out my free mini course down in the description below. It will absolutely help you crush it. Okay, so the first thing that everyone needs to know about Kajabi, okay, the thing that I wished I knew the most when I started this online course journey is that Kajabi does absolutely everything that you need. And I'm not exaggerating here. It's like websites and landing pages and emails and funnels and forms and podcasts even and communities and coaching and courses. It does everything that you need to be able to run a business up and well past 7 figures. But although that is the first thing that I wish I would have known, I also wish that I would have known that Kajabi just does everything well. Okay, it's not perfect at everything. It does not do everything exceptionally well. It just does everything. To some people, that's a good thing, and to some people, that's a bad thing. It kind of depends on where you are, but Kajabi absolutely will do everything, but it won't do everything well. And this is because it's designed as like a jack of all trades program that is meant to keep everything under one umbrella. It's meant to keep everything in one place for ease of use. So if you want everything in just one place, and you don't want to have to use any extra tools to connect this app, to connect this software, to connect this Google Sheet or something like that, then Kajabi is perfect. But if you're looking for something that is like the absolute top tier of everything, and you have unlimited budget and you have unlimited time and you have a huge team, Kajabi may not be exactly what you want for everything. You may want to use Kajabi in tandem with other tools. But that being said, for most people, for like a vast majority of people, Kajabi is going to be absolutely the perfect fit. So probably the biggest thing that I wish I would have known before actually like buying Kajabi and getting into it, and I love Kajabi again, but the biggest thing that I wish I would have known is the way that their editor works. And I'm talking about like editing pages and editing forms and editing your website and editing emails. I wish I would have just known how that was set up, because the thing is that it's not a drag and drop system. So it's not super easy to use and to make things. At times, it's honestly kind of frustrating. The way it works is like you basically click on whatever you want to edit, and then you have to go over to the left to like this little pane or this window that's here on the left-hand side, and then you go through and you click on whatever it is that you're editing. And you know, it doesn't really seem like it's that big of a deal, but if you're constantly changing things on your site, or you need things to look exactly perfectly the way that you want, it may not be something that's perfect for you. Like I said, it will get the job done, and we make money with pages that are built on Kajabi, but it is not a like tried and true only website creator and editor. At the end of the day, that's not going to be something that hinders your selling though, okay? The selling should happen before people get to your site or before people get to your page and on social. And once they're there, your site and all that content or your email form and stuff like that should just be basically reaffirming them that they're in the right place. So the Kajabi editor should not really hinder you from making money. So the next thing is that Kajabi only has 2 payment gateways. Now, is this a huge deal? No. Is it a deal breaker for some people? Maybe, but realistically, it just uses Stripe and PayPal. So if you're looking for something like, for instance, Teachable, which has its own payment gateway and payment processor that's set up, and they like collect all the information for you, and they send you a 1099, and they do all this tax stuff that's there with you, Kajabi doesn't do that. Okay, Kajabi is specifically just using another payment processor that is through their site and through their pages, but you have to still go sign up through those payment processors and get all of your information from them. All right, so this next one here is actually a really big one, and it is that Kajabi's email is actually really good. Okay, people sleep on Kajabi's email. Now, I was pretty skeptical of this coming from ActiveCampaign, which is touted as like one of the most advanced and one of the best email tools that you can have. Okay, ActiveCampaign is like what the information product coaches, course sellers use when they do their email, because it is such a complex system and there's so many things that you can really build out with an ActiveCampaign. And I actually still partially use ActiveCampaign, because when you're in the process of migrating a giant list, it can be kind of messy sometimes. But besides that, the thing that we liked most about ActiveCampaign again is like the automations and the sequences and the advanced tagging that you can do and the follow-ups that you can build with an email. And I really thought Kajabi was not going to be able to provide that type of usage, but Kajabi has in a pleasant way, surprised us. It's been awesome to be able to use Kajabi's email automations and sequences. We can still continue to do things like send out emails after forms are filled out, or after tags are added, or after offers are granted, which is like when people buy things. So we can still take care of a lot of the basics, and we can still get some of the advanced work done as well. And what makes it really nice is that it's actually very easy and simple to use, whereas ActiveCampaign and some other tools might be a little bit more complicated. The UI looks a little bit more clunky, and honestly, ActiveCampaign's emails were ugly. Like, I didn't like the way that they looked, and Kajabi looks a lot better so far. And on top of that, if we needed to do something extremely advanced, you can still use Zapier to connect it, which I still had to do in instances with ActiveCampaign too. So in my opinion, they're relatively the same when it comes to their actual usage. And just a side note here, okay, and we're gonna talk about pricing a little bit later in this video, but ActiveCampaign, for the amount of subscribers that we have, is over $600 per month. Okay, $600 a month. It is a lot of money that's there. And for Kajabi, we can have up to 100,000 contacts that's included within our Kajabi subscription. That's 100,000 contacts for something like $140 a month, where ActiveCampaign was not even half of that for $600 a month. Okay, that's enough about email. Let's move into my next area, which is where Kajabi offers more than just courses. So lots of people think about like course platforms, course tools, or e-learning tools. Okay, but Kajabi can do a lot more that brings your marketing all into one place. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier. It doesn't just have one product, okay? It has the ability to offer courses, the ability to offer coaching, to have communities. You can even host a podcast there now, and it will actually put your podcast out to certain directories. And their communities platform was a little rough in the beginning, but it actually got a huge update into this 2.0 version, and the community section is now amazing. And it's really good actually at being able to foster student interaction. I mean, we were even looking at School, which is ran by Sam Ovens, and it's like his own community and course platform. And we were looking at School primarily for the community aspect. But with this new update that Kajabi's had, I feel like Kajabi actually really competes with School and competes with other really good community building platforms, especially when you have students or when you have people that don't want to have to be on Facebook in order to be able to interact with their learning community. But again, on top of that, it still does things, like I said, like your websites and your landing pages and your forms. It even has analytics, and it can even act like a CRM. So it does a lot more than just courses. And if people come into it knowing that it's more than just a course platform, then I think it will be a much easier add-on to their business. Okay, so the next point here is that you can actually get very creative with the way that you offer things within Kajabi. And by offering things, I mean like offering different types of products, whether it's different courses and different bundles and different communities and things like that, added in together to be able to create the perfect offer for the perfect situation. So Kajabi's offer system is something that's actually pretty unique. And what it does is it allows you to create courses and then other products and bundle them together as what are called offers. And so what this does is it lets you actually run different types of promotions very easily, because all you got to do is just go in and check a box and then basically name the offer and price it, and you can go ahead and sell it. But what's also very cool about it is that you can set certain restrictions behind certain types of offers, and then you can have automations that come in and they can actually grant other offers when other offers are granted or when tags are added. So again, you can get very custom with the amount of work and the things that you actually give to people. And having an offer system like this set up where it's very easy to create bundles or very easy to put different products together makes cross-selling and upselling a lot easier as well. Okay, so at this point you might also be asking, okay, it sounds cool, but it also sounds kind of complicated, Doug. Like, what can I do about how to be able to use Kajabi? Do I just have to watch, YouTube videos like yours all day? No, not necessarily. Kajabi actually has a very helpful help and resources and customer service team in Kajabi University to help guide you through the process of using Kajabi. It's actually really helpful, and I mean, there's not much else to say about that other than the fact that every time I've had an issue, I've gone into the Kajabi live chat, chatted someone, and I've gotten my problem fixed. So that's that. So something that's kind of positive but kind of negative at the same time is that Kajabi tries to streamline everything for you. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you like to have everything built out for you, if you like to do minimal clicking in the back end, and if you like to have everything kind of done for you in a way that's less custom, Kajabi does that really well. Kajabi tries to simplify things by streamlining things through a tool called funnels. And for instance, when I click on a funnel and I click on something like, oh, go launch this event, or it's going to be like like market a course or it's a live webinar or something like that, you can click these predetermined or predefined funnels that are built out that include things like a landing page and a form and then an email follow-up. And it's all really cool because it does it for you. You don't have to think about it. But the problem is, as you get into higher level course selling and as you start selling more complex offers and having more complex marketing strategies, these funnels are just kind of cast by the wayside because you have to have very specific timings and very specific use cases with everything that you do. So if you don't get involved, or if you don't like to get too involved and you're okay with things being predefined and you're just trying to slap it together because you're like the one person show, then Kajabi's funnels and their streamlining process is actually super nice because you don't have to think about what gets connected where and how do you add this tag and what does this form do or what happens after the email sequence is completed. You don't have to think about any of that because Kajabi has predefined templates there for you. But if you like to be very custom and you like to be very intentional with the way that you're marketing, you can still get the job done, obviously, and you can go through and manually connect it. It's just that you'll have to do it yourself, which you have to do with any other program anyway. You just won't get the benefit of that funnel feature. So, I mean, good news is that to get Kajabi to work and to make it sell, you don't have to touch that funnels thing at all. We don't actually use that very often anymore because we have a very custom marketing strategy. So the last thing that I want to be super transparent about here has to do with the pricing for Kajabi. Now, pricing tends to be one of those things that lots of people, and maybe it's you, but lots of people come to videos like this to try to figure out, like, is Kajabi worth the price? Okay, everyone wonders, is it worth it for me to pay for? Or they wonder, can I kind of like hack together some free things to get the job done kind of like similar to what Kajabi does? And honestly, sure, you can totally go through and try to MacGyver some stuff together with like a paper clip, some duct tape, dog food, and like a rock or something like that and put it together and you can somehow whip out a course. But at the end of the day, you have to think of this as an investment. So let's go through it. Let's just go through it and break down everything that Kajabi does and look at different alternatives. Because like I said, my wife Haley and I, we're 7-figure course sellers. We've used lots of tools and lots of software. Okay, so we know what people are doing and how much people are spending. Okay, so the first thing is like the course platform itself. All right, and so when we look at an alternative to Kajabi, we have things like Teachable. So we've personally used Teachable and Thinkific and a couple of other tools that are there, but Teachable is the one, I would say, the alternative that we have the most experience with is Teachable. Okay, so if we look at Teachable, we're going to look at like their base price that they have here, and it's somewhere around like $39 for the base. And I'm not going to go through and penny pinch it and look at everything when you look at like transaction fees, because you know Teachable does have a transaction fee that's included at a certain price level rather than that just coming out of the payment processor. So let's look at Teachable and we'll say it's like 39 bucks. Okay, and then the next thing that we want to talk about is email. Because Kajabi does courses and email, we need to go find an email tool now, or email platform, to be able to come through and connect to Teachable, because Teachable doesn't have an extensive email system. Yeah, you can send out emails to your students, but you can't really send full-fledged marketing campaigns through Teachable. So what do you need to do? Lots of people tend to pick up ConvertKit. Okay, and ConvertKit, I think for the creator is like $9 a month or something like that. Okay, so I think we're around $48 a month, somewhere around there. So if we want to look at things like a CRM, you know, we have Teachable and ConvertKit already selected. And if we want to look at things like sales pages or very light landing page and checkout builders, Teachable probably has that covered, and so does ConvertKit. So Teachable and ConvertKit are actually a very popular combination that lots of people use. But then you have to look into things like an actual website, because Kajabi is your website as well. Kajabi gives you the ability to build out a full-fledged website. So we need something else. So let's pick something like Squarespace, for example. Squarespace, at the time of recording this, somewhere around like 23-ish US dollars. Okay, so that's if you go with something like Squarespace, which does hosting, but then also has your site, but you know, they control the hosting and your site and all these other things. So let's say you wanted to also potentially do like WordPress. So if you did WordPress plus a hosting, and we looked at something like SiteGround is somewhere around like $19 a month if you sign up for like the monthly on the lowest level that's there. Or if you did like a 2-year commitment or something, it's like $11 a month. So we're gonna say somewhere like $19, because I'm just gonna guess that you're not gonna pay for 2 years up front. Now, Kajabi also does things like affiliates. So if you wanted to have an affiliate program, you can go find one of those. I'm not gonna include that in here because that is a little bit more on the rare side, and I think that's kind of like, you know, picking and choosing different things to try to illustrate a point. So we're just gonna ignore affiliates that's here. But one thing that we do need to look at are your communities. Now, again, some people like to use Facebook for communities and some people don't. Okay, and that's one of the added benefits again of Kajabi, is that you don't need to go out and get a third-party software for your communities. But if you're on a budget and you're trying to hack this together, a Facebook group is going to be perfectly fine. So then Kajabi also does podcasting, and Kajabi will actually put your podcast out to directories. And so if you want something to do that for you, you'll need a tool like Buzzsprout, which is what we actually use. We use Buzzsprout for our podcast as well. And so Buzzsprout is something like $12 a month at the base level for you to run a podcast. Now you got to get out your trusty calculator here and start adding these things together. So if you did like $39 for Teachable and $9 for ConvertKit and like, let's say $23 for Squarespace and then $12 for Buzzsprout, you're looking at like $83 a month. And you're like, wow, well, that looks a lot cheaper than Kajabi is like $149 a month. Okay, I'm going to be saving 60 some odd dollars a month that's there. But that's when you start to try to hack things together. Okay, now if you're using these tools like Teachable and ConvertKit and Buzzsprout and some other things, you might need to do things that are a little bit more advanced when it comes to connecting everything together for your marketing campaign. So you might need a tool like, let's say, Zapier, for instance, which I believe is somewhere around $19.99 a month at the most base plan that they have. But let's get a little bit more practical here. Okay, Teachable offers a $39 base plan that's there for you, but they have transaction fees and it's kind of limited in terms of what you can build out. If you're just one person running one thing and you don't have that many students, $39 a month might be totally fine. But if you want to expand this, if you want to grow your business, if you want this to be full-time and you want to live the dream life that you want to live because you don't have a boss or you don't have to go to a 9-to-5 and you want to make as much money as you want every month, you can't be looking at base things because it's not going to have the features that you need. Okay, so if we wanted to be extra fair, what we would do is look at Kajabi's $199 a month for their growth plan, which is the middle tier, which is basically all you need to be able to run a 6-figure course or coaching business. But then we need to also look at Teachable's mid-tier because we don't want transaction fees and we want more flexibility. We want the ability to scale. So that's $99 a month. But then here's the big thing. Okay, ConvertKit's $9 a month is just for 300 contacts. 300. You're not going to hit big numbers on 300 contacts a month. You need to bump that up. If you wanted 10,000 contacts a month with Kajabi at the creator plan, that's $100 a month now. Okay, so now you're paying $100 a month for ConvertKit for 10,000 contacts, and you're paying $100 a month for Teachable and the course platform. And then you still have Buzzsprout, and all of a sudden we're actually a little over that $199 mark with Kajabi. And at the growth plan for Kajabi, you get 100,000 contacts. Okay, 100,000 contacts again for ConvertKit's like $600 a month. So at the end of the day, the pricing is going to be kind of a wash unless you're trying to really bootstrap something together using like Facebook and Google Drive and you're just not doing anything else that's there. So in a realistic use case, Kajabi puts everything together in one place, does everything really well, and is actually reasonably priced. And yes, at the end of the day, Kajabi's what I use, Kajabi's what I recommend. I'm a Kajabi affiliate. You can go check out the 30-day free trial down in the link in the description below. But do I actually recommend it? Yes, because I'm currently using it. It is currently something that I use, which is why I can recommend it. I'm not just picking things to be able to have an affiliate link for. I actually genuinely tell our students, go use Kajabi because it will make things easier for you. Now, does that mean it's perfect forever? No, doesn't mean that at all. Does that mean that it's going to be the best thing out there? No, not at all. But does it get the job done? 100% gets the job done. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about what Kajabi does or what it doesn't or how to do things, leave them down in the comments below. I'd be super happy to help you out that and kind of go through there because I honestly do still love Kajabi. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you want to hear more videos about stuff like this and the ins and outs of course creation and selling stuff online. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.